Cost of capital, sorry. So we are now in the cost of capital. Mali pala nabuksan ko. Sorry. Break even muna tayo. Huwag muna tayo mag-cost of capital. Para sort of review, no? Sige. I thought today is cost accounting, no? Kaya nakabukas na yung activity-based costing, no? I realized today pala is Friday. Alright, sige. Sige, today I will discuss about break-even analysis since it is also part of our discussion, di ba? In cost accounting. But here we will focus more on, yes, break-even analysis, but we will have, I will introduce you to one, which is the cash break-even. All right. Kasi yung iba dito is basically a review, no, on your cost accounting. Same, no, cost behavior, the study of the change in your activity, di ba? Same as what we discussed in uh, strat cost, di ba? Tama ba, Mariki, di ba? I think I discussed this na.
Yes po.
Alright. Pasensya na po, walang mic. Alright. Sige. So, I will not, sige, we will just read, no, one by one. I think variable cost. Ano nga ang variable cost? Total variable cost will vary in total, no? Regardless of the change in your activity or with the changes in your activity. Pag tumaas yung sales mo, pag bumaba yung sales mo, what will happen to the variable cost? Bababa din and tataas. Alright. How about the variable cost per unit? Hello?
Constant po.
Alright. It will remain the same regardless of the changes in your activity. Tumaas man or bumaba ang inyong sales, the variable cost per unit will remain the same. Alright. Review na lang tayo ha. Review as what we discussed in our strat cost. Kasi mas okay if I introduce this before we go to the cash break even. Alright. Also, the fixed cost is, again, will remain the same, no, regardless of the changes in your activity, while the fixed cost per unit vary inversely. Okay, wag na to. Discuss already. What else? The CVP, di ba? We discussed CVP analysis, correct? Ito yung ano natin, di ba? First topic natin. Since here, we basically, we also discuss about how to compute for the break-even. Tama ba? Tama ba, Sophia? Alright. I discuss also here, no? Ano nga yung formula to compute for the break-even in peso? In peso?
Total fixed cost divided
Alright.
by contribution margin ratio.
Alright. How about the units?
Total fixed cost divided by contribution margin per unit.
Very good. Okay, so okay na yan, no? And then you can also do a long cut and you can also do the formula. Alright, I think I discussed already here. What I will focus now, yan, the break-even, diba? Break-even wherein your sales will equal to your total cost. Tama? The break-even will equal to your variable cost and your fixed cost. The break-even, sorry, the break-even wherein your CM will equal to your fixed cost. Tama ba? Or CM minus fixed cost is equal to 0. Or sales minus the total cost will equal to 0. Yan. Alright. So, okay na to. Just a review. Sorry, sana nandito yung ano ko, i-discuss natin. Yan. So, ito tayo, no? So, ito yung bago natin, no? Ito yung new, no, in terms of the financial management. We will define what do you mean of cash break even. Kayo ba ay nakapagbasa na? Alright. Sorry ngayon kasi because of pandemic, no? Wala tayong libro. Or may libro ba kayo na ginagamit? Tama ba?
Meron po, sir.
Kaya Cabrera.
Cabrera.
Alright, sige. Doon ba ay mayroon ba doon cash break even? I think mayroon. So, cash break even at the same time the operating leverage. Coffee lang ah. Alright. What do you mean of cash break even? Alright. Since in the break even analysis, what we compute is that we will assume that, sorry, we believe that the net income is zero. Okay. In the cash break even, if the firm has the minimum uh, if the firm has the minimum of available cash or opportunity cost of holding excess cash is high, management may want to know the volume of sales that will cover all cash expenses no, during the period. Alright, wait lang may nagme-message. 5 minutes lang. Alright, wait. Can we end at 6:30 ha? Okay lang ba?
Yes po, sir.
Alright, wait lang ha. Alright. So meaning, in terms of the cash break even, no, very important that is that to know your cash, right? So if the firm has the minimum available cash or the opportunity cost of holding excess cash is high, management may want to know the volume of sales that will cover all the cash expenses during the period. So meaning, just like in the capital budgeting, diba? What we did in the capital budgeting is you have your cash flow, diba? We compute for the cash flow, we compute for the present value of your cash flow. Just like here, the break-even point. We also compute for the cash break-even point or the cash break-even. All right. So, not all fixed operating expenses involve cash payment. Diba? What we compute for the break-even is fixed costs divided by the CM. Pero since we will compute for the cash break-even point, ano sabi? Not all fixed costs involve cash payment. Ano yung mga example na there's no cash involved in terms of your fixed cost? Nandiyan na, di ba? Depreciation. What else? I think depreciation lang. Depreciation lang in general is not part of the break-even. Sorry, it's not cash or there's no cash payment or there's no cash involved in terms of that. Okay? To find the break-even point is lower than the usual break-even point. So, ano yung formula? As you notice. Okay? Same formula pa din in terms of computing your units. Okay? So, meaning, fixed cost minus depreciation divided by CM per unit. Alright. In the CPA board exam, be careful. No? In the CPA board exam, be careful. No? What if the question is, what is the cash break-even point? Okay? And narinig nyo kaagad, no? Narinig nyo kaagad na break-even. So, ginawa ni Marie Kay ay fixed cost divided by CM per unit. Tapos may lumabas na sagot. Di ba? So, paniwala ka na tama ang sagot mo. Pero, ang tanong is, the cash break-even. Tapos, given yung depreciation. So meaning, you will deduct the depreciation. Sure, ang tanong, what if sir, ang tanong is cash break even pero hindi given ang depreciation? So you are safe that the cash break even is the same as the break even point in units. Pero pag given yung depreciation, tapos meron pang iba ha, depreciation and any other fixed cost that does not have or there's no cash involved with the fix. So meaning you will deduct all of that, diba? Yan. And you divide it by the CM per unit. Cash break even in peso, same lang na formula, but you divide it by the CM percentage. Alright. Sige. For example, Wayne Company manufactures and sell the doors to home builders. The doors are sold for 25 each. Variable costs are 15 per door and the fixed operating expenses of 50,000, including the depreciation of 2,000. All right. What is the formula? Fixed cost minus depreciation, and you have your CM per unit. Tama ba? So here, the CM per unit here, so you will minus lang naman the cash break-even point. Correct? All right. So you will minus the cash break-even point. Sorry, you will minus the depreciation, because depreciation there's no cash involved, because what you compute is the cash break-even point. You divide it by the sales per unit or selling price divided by your variable cost per unit. All right. So how much would be your cash break-even? 4,800. So far, any question? Napakadali lang. Since alam niyo na kung paano i-compute ang break-even, just minus the depreciation to compute for the cash break-even. Alright, again, be careful in the CPE board exam, especially if this is the given. No? Hindi niyo mo nakikita is, hindi mo nakita na cash break-even pala. Nakita mo lang is the break-even. Automatic, the formula is fixed cost divided by CM. Pero, the question is the cash break-even, yung minus depreciation. Okay, sorry kung makulit ako. Pasiguro lang kasi yan ay lumalabas sa CPA board exam. Yan ay to test you if you are, if you know how to compute for it. So far, any question?
Wala po, sir.
All right, Alvan. Okay. Next, operating leverage. I think we discussed already, di ba? The operating leverage. May nag-message. All right, Nan. Sige. All right. Operating leverage, no? It is the measure of operating risk, no, that arises from the fixed operating costs, no? A simple indication of this is the effect that change in sales that has on earnings. So ano yung formula? 'Di ba? Alam niyo na yung formula. The formula is CM divided by your net income. All right. But what is the other formula to compute for operating leverage? Change in EBIT divided by change in sales. All right. Di ba as you notice, no? As I discussed last time in your strategic cost management, we compute for the operating leverage, di ba? Then we also compute for the increase of your sales. Tama? What we did is we multiply it by the percentage increase by the operating leverage. So meaning that would be the increase in your EBIT, di ba? So meaning the formula pala to compute for the OL is changes percentage in EBIT divided by percentage change in sales. Alright, sige. Or, nalagay ko ba dito yung form? Yun, di ba? Ito yung alam natin, di ba? Tama ba? Sir, ba't iba? Same lang yan, ha? Selling price minus variable cost. Ano to? CM per unit. Tama? CM per unit, you multiply it by X. Okay? X is the variable. So meaning, this is your contribution margin. Correct? Alright, SP minus VC, your CM, correct? CM times XX is your volume. Ano to? CM. CM minus FC is your net income. FC is the fixed cost. Bakit sir ito yung binigay nyo? Kasi may lumabas sa board exam na ganito. Okay? What is the formula to compute for the OL? Sabi ni Sir Lopo, tinuro sa amin CM divided by net income. Pero meron pang ibang, di ba? I think in your exam, di ba? Tama ba, Marikay? Di ba ginawa ko yan?
Yes po.
Yun. So, ganun, no? That was coming from the CPE board exam. Okay? Yun. Meron pang iba, may nakita ako, parang may legend pa, no? Bawa L. L is for SP. Basta ganun, no? So, meaning, papaisipin ka pa, no? Yan. Alright. So, operating leverage, I think same lang. Alright. For example, where EBIT is the earnings before interest and taxes. Alright. For example, from the previous example of Wayne Company is currently selling at $6,000 per year. Okay, so same as kanina, 'di ba? Okay? Go back to our problem a while ago. 25 minus 15, you have your 6,000. All right. Wait lang. May- All right. So 25 is your selling price minus the variable cost of 15. You have your variable cost, correct? You multiply it by 6,000. 6,000 is basically your volume, okay? So ano to? Jaime. Ano to? This is your Jaime Ignacio. Hello. All right. All right. Hindi mo alam. Okay. Tama, Marikay. It is the CM. All right, the CM. So how about the denominator? Okay? So your denominator is basically 25 less 15, no? Times X times 6,000 is 50,000. This is your CM. Sesya ka na, madaming. Alright, sige. Alright. So how much would the operating leverage? 6. Alright. My question is, what if you have 20% increase in your sales? How much would be the increase in your net income or EBIT? Anyone? What if you have an increase of, say, 10% na lang? What if you have a 10%? Okay. Alright. Sorry, ano ba sabi ko kanina? Let's say, Marikay, 10%, no? What if you have 10% increase in your sales, no? How much would be your increase in your net income? Very good. The answer is 60% ba? Should be 6% lang. Okay? 10% times 6. So you have 6%. Okay? Not 60, Marikay. No? Should be 6%. Diba? 6 times, okay? So meaning, yan. So, no need to compute for the long cut. Diba? No need to compute for the long cut. Okay? Yun na yan. Okay? No worries. Alright. Sige. Which means, no? Yeah, ito na pala. Buti 10% yung sinabi ko, okay? Which means that if you have 10% increase in your sales, you have a 60% increase in your net income. All right. Next. Next is all about financial leverage. All right. It is the measure of financial risk, no? And arises from the financial risk and arises from, sorry, naulit lang. It measures the financial risk. All right. It should be, it arises from financial risk, no, and arises from the fixed financial cost. Okay. One way to compute for this is that how to how the earnings per share are affected by the change in EBIT, no, to operating income. What is the formula? Yan. So change in EPS. Anong EPS, sir? Earnings per share. All right. And change in your EBIT. Anong EBIT? Earnings before interest and taxes. Sige nga, na-discuss na ba sa inyo ni Sir Joshart how to compute for the EPS
Hindi
sa
pa
bala?
po.
Hindi pa. Alright, sige. Alright. It is for the AFAR. Okay, sige. The formula to compute for the EPS is net income. Okay, net income. Okay, Alva. Net income minus preferred dividends. Okay, preferred dividends divided by weighted average shares of stocks of your common stock. Sige, wag na muna yan. Kasi meron pang formula to compute for the financial leverage. Alright. So, ito ay for higher, no? Yan. Parang same as operating leverage. Okay. Wait ah. Alright, anong denominator? Numerator pala. SP, selling price, minus variable cost, unit X. Ano yung X? Volume. Ano to? That's your, hello? Ano to? That's your, andyan ba kayo?
Your net income po.
Alright, very good. Ito muna ay tinatawag na CM. Okay? CM minus FC. Very good. That's your net income. Alright. How about your denominator? As you notice, parang same lang naman, sir, di ba? Ano yung wala doon? Ano yung mina-minus natin? Your IC. Alright, parang same formula. But in the denominator, denominator is your IC. What is IC? Alright, very good. So IC is your interest charges. Okay? Alright. So IC is what you call the interest charges. Alright. What is IC? Yan. Again, EPS is earnings per share. Yan. IC is your fixed finance charge. Alright. It is your fixed finance charge. Including the interest expense, no? And your preferred stock dividends. Alright, again, the IC is your interest expense or your preferred dividend. So meaning you will minus that, no, sa inyong denominator. Sample tayo. Sample ba ako dito? Wala. Alright. What is the IC? IC is basically preferred stock dividends, no, must be adjusted for taxes. So if you have dividend preferred stock divided by 1 minus T. Ano 'yon? 'Di ba 1, ano yung T? T is taxes, ha? Or if your taxes is 40%, ano yung numerator? 60, ano yung denominator? 60%. Okay, 1 minus T. So meaning you will gross up, no, in terms of your stock dividend. Tandaan ng formula, ha? All right. How about your sorry. For example, using the above data or from the previous example, no, the wind company has total of finance charges of 2,000. Half of the interest expense, half is also preferred stock dividends. Corporate tax rate is 40%. The question is, what is their financial leverage? First thing is to compute for the IC. IC is what you call your interest charges. Alright. Ano yung 1,000? Ano nga yung formula to compute for the interest charges? Janina? If you are listening again? Very good.
Wait lang po, sir.
Mm-mm.
Sir, yung ano po, CM, hindi ko po sure, sir. Pwede po try. Try
Sige,
lang.
sure, sige.
Yung ano po, net income over,
Mm-mm.
uh,
Hindi. My question is, what what composes of interest charges? Ano yung,
yung sa,
mm-mm.
ay, alin po, sir?
Sinabi ko kanina, di ba? Okay.
Yung sa stock dividends po.
Alright, sige. You have your preferred dividends and you have your, ano yung isa? Interest charge. Saan magaling ang interest?
Taxes po, sir.
Taxes ba? Interest, ha? Not tax.
Interest.
Usually, saan siya galing? Sa interest payable. Ano yung payable? Payable is your liability. Diba? Yan. Okay na yan. Again, Wayne Company has a total financial charges of 2,000. Andun na pala yung question. Andun na pala yung sagot, eh. Half is the interest expense and half is the preferred stock dividends. No? So meaning the IC is composed of the interest expense and your preferred stock dividend. All right, diba? So the formula to compute for the stock dividend is what? You gross up, no? If this is the corporate tax of 40%, you have 1. you have 60% to get the 100%. Kasi we assume ito in taxes, no? By the way, wag malito, no? Kasi when we are now in the cost of capital, sir, bakit yung preferred stock ay hindi naman tinatax sa cost of capital? Kasi yung dividends naman ay hindi siya part ng net income. How come in financial leverage we gross up, no? Ay, wag malito ha. Okay? All right. The reason is this because we assume that the dividends, no, in this example is a tax now because of the preferred stock dividends. All right. So, magkano yung IC natin? Interest charges, no? 1,000 plus 1,667. So, you have 2,667. All right. So, what if okay, kanina to, 'di ba? Ito kanina. All right. So, ano yung formula ng financial leverage? P minus V, 'di ba? Yung multiply by X. So, as you notice, parang parehas lang. Nakakaiba lang siya sa denominator, which is you minus the IC or the interest charges. All right. So again, same. 25 is the selling price minus variable cost per unit. You multiply it by the X. X is the volume minus 50. Sabi ni Marikay ito ay net income. All right. Sa baba, same lang siya, di ba? Pero you minus the 2,667, which is your interest charges. So, ano ang ating financial leverage? I think 1.36. All right. So far, any question? All right. Which means, now, what if your EBIT now increases by 10%? All right. Wayne, expect its EPS to increase by 1.36. Meaning you just multiply it now. Since you have an increase now of 10%. Pero may mali. Tama. Ito pala ay 0.136 na. All right. So, any question about financial leverage before we go to total leverage? Question. Hello? Nasaan ba kayo? Parang,
Sir, wala po.
Wala naman po, sir.
alright, wala. Parang, ano na kayo, no? Ano tawag doon? Friday kasi ngayon, no? Diba? Alright. Total leverage. Alright. Total leverage, usually, if we compute for this, we just add, diba? Kasi total leverage, diba? Pag sinabing total, you should add, no? You should add operating leverage and financial leverage. Okay? But here, no? Total leverage is a measure of total risk. No? The way to measure total leverage is to determine how the EPS is affected by the change in your sales. All right. So leverage at a given sales, so ito yung formula. Okay? Change in EPS divided by change in sales. All right. So as you notice, oh, 'di ba? Parang hindi siya pina-plus. All right? When you compute for total leverage, it should be to be multiplied or to multiply the OL by financial leverage. Ito yung usual na pagkakamali ng estudyante. When you have total leverage, ang ginawa ng iba ay just add the two and may sagot naman sa choices, di ba? Total leverage should be, you should multiply the operating leverage by financial leverage. All right. And and also please no take a look no on this formula no, change in EPS divided by change in sales. Why? Kasi ito yun, no? All right. Sorry, wala pala ako. Kasi if you compute for ano yung formula ng operating leverage, di ba? CM divided by net income, di ba? Ano yung formula ng financial leverage? Net income divided by what? Net income pa din minus IC. As you notice, no? Yung dalawa dito, yung denominator dito sa kanyang numerator, cross up na natin. Okay? So, ano natira? CM divided by your net income minus IC. Diba? Yes, very good, Alvon. Diba? Or, kung yan ay, hindi mo pa na-compute yung OL and FL. But what if given okay, what if given is the OL and the FL, just multiply it, di ba? Kanina, we compute for the OL of 6 and also we compute for the FL of 1.36. So just multiply, not add ha. So the answer here is 8.16. Kasi yung ilan ba to? 7.36 na. Tama ba? Check ko ha. 6 6 times 1 point. Para kasi may mali. Tama, 8.16. So far, any question? Okay, so
None po.
this is your assignment na.
Wala naman po,
Oras na
sir.
ba? 6:15. Alright. Sige, can we... Alright, I will upload this later or this weekend. And then, expect that submission nito is on Friday. No? Alright. So, any questions so far? Dami yung absent, no?
Sir, saan po ilalagay? Sa Word?
Alright. I will upload it again in your LMS, in your Sunbeda. And then, submit it to me na via, no? Walang ano sa ano, di ba? Hindi kayo pwede mag-submit sa LMS, no?
Pwede naman po.
Pwede po,
Pwede
sir.
ba? Pwede.
Pwede
Sige,
po.
sige, doon na lang. Kasi hindi ako familiar sa, di ba Blackboard yan, di ba? Or Moodle, ang tawag sa ano niya. I think
Model
Blackboard
po
yan.
ata.
Moodle, no?
Moodle.
Moodle yan, oo. Kasi kakaiba yung Blackboard eh. Mas ayoko, mas para sa akin mas maganda yung Canvas, no? So far, any question? Medyo ano na nga, medyo mabilis lang tayo kasi yung iba kasi ay we discuss it no in our cost accounting, 'di ba? That's our first topic. Kaya medyo mabilis. And then that's why after this is I discuss about the cash break even, the operating leverage and the financial leverage. So far question. Hopefully you will attend later ha, at 7.
Wala na po,
Available
sir.
ba kayo?
Yes po, attend,
Yes
sir.
po.
Attend
Alright.
kami
Sige.
dun, sir.
Para may umatid naman. Joke.
Meron po
Baka
yan,
walang.
sir.
Alright. Sige. If none, ano lang yun, basic accounting lang. Kaya-kaya. Parang refresher lang no, about accounting.
Sir, ano po yan sa Zoom?
Zoom yan.
Sige po.
Madali, 1 hour lang naman yun. Para ka din. Parang continuation ng ano natin, financial management. Alright, so if none,
Sir, walang recitation dun, sir.
wala. Hindi ako host eh. Invite lang ako.
Madami nang attend dyan, sir. Walang recitation.
Wala recitation. Alright, so again, congratulations to Marikay and Janina, no? Lucino. Wow. So hopefully all of you will become also this lister, ha? Diba? Sana lahat kayo maging this lister, okay? Para to strive for excellence, diba? Alright. So if none, sige, see you later, no? At 7 o'clock.
Ay, sir, may
And
tanong po ako.
may tanong, sige, question.
Sir, yung medyo late po ako nakapasok. Yung
Mm-mm.
grade consultation po, paano po ba siya?
Again, yun nga, ito ay tinanong ko na to kay Miss Mariel. Wala tayong midterm grade, no? Your grade is basically your final grade na. Kasi wala tayong system now for the PRISM. So yung grade natin is 40% your recitation up to the final grade na daw yan, no? Up to the final. And then 20% is your midterm exam, and 30% is your finals. So finals tayo, finals na yung grade consultation. Okay? Don't worry. Matataas naman yung grades nyo sa akin eh. Alright, diba? Especially in your exam. Yun yung ng online. Bakit sa iba ba nagbigay ng grades sa inyo?
Yung
Yes
iba
po,
po.
nagbigay.
Ng iba. Okay, sige, pwede naman.
Bigay po, sir.
Alright.
Pero di naman po lahat, sir.
Mm. Yun nga. At
Sige.
tinanong ko din yung kay Miss Mariel, required ba tayo kami mag-submit ng midterm grade? Sabi niya, hindi, no. No need. Just inform na lang during the final, no? The final grade. But don't worry. Maybe next week, kapag na-prepare ko na lahat. No?
Sige po. Thank you po.
Alright. Kasi di ba dati meron pa tayong midterm grade and di ba final grade. Ina-encode ko pa yun sa pre-sem eh. Di ba? Ngayon wala nang pre-sem, di ba? Tama ba? Naano yung pre-sem? Nabutan niya hindi na.
Hindi na po.
Hindi na. Manual na
Sa
kasi.
senior
No?
high, meron gano'n.
Oo, senior ay meron. Alright. Any question pa?
Wala na po, sir.
Alright,
Wala po.
sige. Okay. So, again, thank you and hopefully you learned. Okay, so next topic is all about cost of capital. So after that, maybe I might give a quiz, no? So cost of capital and the cash break even and the leverage. All right, thank you very much and good night and later, no? Hopefully, bumunta kayo. All right, salamat
Thank you po, sir.
and see you all.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
po.
Thank
Sige
you,
po,
Alright,
sir.
sige,
sir.
bye-bye.